So I thought I would return with a similar video and share with you guys how exactly I manufacture the absolutely gorgeous, luxurious tracksuits for my clothing brand. For those of you that don't know, my name is Taddy G and I run a clothing brand called Shiva Shiva. Here on YouTube, I like to share videos about my journey into running the brand and also drop tips, tricks, gems, and all that good stuff. So yeah, let's get started. Let's talk about how I manufacture the luxury, I'm looking at them there, the luxury tracksuits for my clothing brand. One thing about my tracksuits that I love so much, and I know this for a fact because my brother pretty much wears our first sample every day. I asked my brother, I was like, for a tracksuit that's washed 1 or 2 times a week, how is the fabric holding up? He said that it's completely pill free, you know, them little like fuzz balls that you can get on tracksuits, none of that. And he said that the fabric itself is holding up, it hasn't faded. He has a black one, so it's a really good tracksuit. Can't even lie, exactly what it is that I wanted it to achieve. So for my tracksuits, I already knew or had an idea of what fabric I wanted for them. I had made a bunch of tracksuits that went to years before, and I knew that I wanted a fabric similar to that fabric but better. And also I became really fixated and obsessed with this Kenzo tracksuit that I found online, and also I think it was like a Louis Vuitton tracksuit that I'd seen online as well. So I was studying the material composition of that tracksuit, and it was made using polyamide or polymide. That's how I pronounce it. I pronounce it as polymide, but I don't know whether it's like polymide, I don't know. It was made using that fabric, and I was determined to find that fabric for my tracksuits. One thing that I discovered on my journey into finding the fabric was that Italy is actually like one of the best places to source that kind of fabric. Like here in the UK, you can barely find this kind of like tracksuit fabric. So I told my agent that this is the kind of fabric that I was looking for, and she sent me several swatches that matched my description of the fabric that I was looking for. And I went through all the swatches and I came across my perfect fabric. And I knew I didn't want it to be too heavy because obviously polymide is not going to be like a breathable fabric. So when it's not breathable, it's better to go for something a little bit lighter. So the fabric that I ended up going for was 90% polymide with 10% elastine, and it was 250 GSM in weight. To put that into perspective, my t-shirts are 300, but the tracksuits, I guess because of the material, it still feels weightier than a t-shirt, but they're not too heavy. You don't want your tracksuit, if you're using that kind of fabric, to be too heavy. And that fabric per meter is around 11, close to 12 euros per meter, which, hey, when I got the price back, I was like, that is really expensive considering the fact that we're gonna have to consume about 3 meters to 3.5 meters of fabric to actually produce the tracksuit. So we've sourced the fabric. I'm happy. There's no like shipping back and forth like the t-shirt because the fabric was sourced in Italy. So the next thing I knew is that I wanted my tracksuits to be black and navy blue. Now they didn't have a navy blue color, so it gave me the opportunity to be unique and actually develop my own perfect shade of navy blue. If you've been on my website, I do have like a little bit in my copy in the product description as to how I developed this perfect shade of navy blue. And again, if you don't know me, you won't know this, but navy blue is actually my favorite color. So I sent my manufacturer a swatch of the shade of navy blue I wanted. So the company that was providing the fabric was also gonna then like color this navy blue as well. So they sent me a swatch as to what the final color was gonna look like. I was happy. It wasn't exactly the same as the swatch I sent them, but that's what made it unique to Shiva Shiva, unique to my brand. And actually producing the final roll of navy blue fabric took months. It took forever. So meanwhile, I knew that I wanted my zippers to be a gunmetal color, like gunmetal. Oh, but yeah, I wanted it to be gunmetal, and I knew that I wanted my zippers to be like custom, to have like chevaux on there, and I already knew like what sort of shape I wanted my zips to be. So I actually sourced my zips on Alibaba.com. So initially, I'll see whether I still have pictures of the process of producing the zipper and my logo on the zip, because at first I sent them my logo and they just decided to print it in their own font. Like, I don't understand why they would do that. I posted my outrage on Instagram. Guys, follow me on Instagram, because really and truly, that's where, I'm not saying this is not the real me, because it is, but on Instagram, like, my immediate thoughts are on Instagram. Here, like, I have to sit down, I have to plug in a mic, I have to charge a battery and, you know, record. But on Instagram, I'm just like, boom, boom, bam, this is what's happening. So I shared what they tried to pass off as my zipper, and I was just like, no, that's not my zip. I'd already paid, so I was worried that they were gonna be like, yeah, well, this is all we can do, because a lot of the time they can just say, yeah, this is what we're gonna do. So they'll be like, yeah, we can make that, but then when it actually comes down to making it, they can't make it, and it's just so frustrating sometimes with some of these companies on Alibaba.com. But fortunately, they were actually able to then make the zipper exactly how I wanted it to be made. So those zippers were then shipped to Italy. So I need to take it back to the actual sample process. Obviously, we received our first samples for these tracksuits back in March of 2021, and I wasn't happy. I'm gonna put on the screen like the adjustments that I then had to send to my agent. I actually made a video on here where I said my manufacturer almost dropped me because she thought that she wouldn't be able to produce my garments to the standard that I wanted them to be produced at. And that's literally because I'd sent her this document of all the corrections that I needed made on those tracksuits and other pieces that had been made as well. The adjustments were things like the way the tracksuit was sewn, like in certain areas. Some of the stitching I adjusted as well. And then I had to go through a second round of samples to make sure that the adjustments were done to the way that I wanted them to be done. Sampling was super expensive. I've got the costs right here on my phone. So to sample the tracksuit top only was 44 euros, and to sample the bottom was 40 euros. A lot of people in my DMs are always asking me like, oh my gosh, like how much is sampling? They're quoting me some mad numbers. Sampling is expensive. That's how much I had to pay to sample my tracksuit. So it was a total of £84 for the tracksuit sample only. And then I had to resample it, so that was another £44, but I only resampled just the top, seeing as the pants only had like one minor adjustment which I would be able to see like via a picture. And that's sewing only. That's not the cost of the fabric that she was using for the sampling. So to actually manufacture the tracksuit top, that was 22 euros. So sampling is double the price of the final cost. And then to manufacture the bottoms was 20 euros. And that's not including the fabric. Like I mentioned, the fabric was like 11 euros, and they were going to consume about 3 meters of fabric. So for the fabric alone, that would have been something like 33 euros to 35 euros. So to actually manufacture the tracksuits, that's not even including the zip. It was expensive, basically, guys. To manufacture those tracksuits was expensive. So once the plain tracksuits were made, so the label was sewn in, same labels that I was using for my t-shirts were then sewn into the tracksuits, and then also the like care label as well, which I had designed. That was all done. The tracksuits were then sent to me, where I had them embroidered here using an embroidery company that I use. And that's basically how I manufactured my luxury tracksuits. Yeah, I really hope that you have enjoyed this video and you've learned a thing or two about manufacturing tracksuits and fabrics that you can explore as well. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my channel. This is video 3 that I'm filming in one sitting. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you in my very next video. Bye.